point where we are at our breakout sessions. We have two. We have Cub Scouts when we're talking about recruitment events, and the other one is for Scouts BSA when they talk about Eagle mentors. Oh, thank you, Melissa. I knew it was you or somebody. So there are two rooms. Please go ahead and choose a room. Which one is which?
Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA.
I know, but oh, never mind. Because there's so many people here since I last checked. All right. See you on the other side, people. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right. So everyone is here for the Cub Scout Breakout Recruitment event, yes? Okay. Sounds good. All right, let me share this screen again because it usually pops me out when I do this. Here we go. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right. So on the screen is some general questions that you should keep in mind as you watch the video. You guys all ready? Here we go.
I once was visiting a local council office and I came across an extensive library of old Cub Scout training materials from the 1950s. I asked if I could take some back with me to review, and one brochure was really interesting. It was about membership and how to effectively recruit families to join Cub Scouting. The method was a reflection of the time, as it was calling for hand-delivered letters inviting the family to join a pack on a special night. Welcome to Roundtable as we discuss recruitment events. There are several ways to recruit new families into Cub Scouting. In this roundtable, we're going to cover recruitment events that take a coordinated effort between your pack and your local council. Now, every council has a team of volunteers and staff who work for months developing a plan to recruit more Cub Scouts. We're going to share with you the common elements these recruitment plans usually have and things you can do to prepare. We will not be covering getting people to these events or the advertising needed to get people there. To learn more about techniques to advertising your recruitment event, work with your local council and check out the recruitment page on scouting.org. You can get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. The first step of any recruitment plan is to confirm a date, time, and location. This step is something that your council may be doing already based on the relationship with the school district or other community partners. What you can do is to reach out to your local council, preferably through your district executive, and ask what the plan is for your pack. There may be a kickoff meeting where this information is discussed with the Cub Scout packs in your area. If a parent or a group of parents have a good relationship with the school or schools that members of your pack attend, make sure to let your district executive know that and that you'd be willing to help. What you want to avoid is any duplication of effort. You and your district executive need to coordinate contacting any school to avoid miscommunication, which could lead to a failed campaign. Once the date, time, and location are confirmed, it is important to know the membership plan and expectations of your council's membership plan. This will help you understand that what you can do to make the event a success. Now, it bears repeating, knowing your council's membership plan is key before you start. Regardless of the details of your council's membership plan for a formal recruitment event, there are things you can do to prepare. Make sure your pack has things ready to welcome and get new families involved. The two things that have the greatest impact on this are having a pack program calendar and a parent meeting within 10 days of your formal recruitment event. To learn more about developing an annual program calendar, make sure to take the online training module at my.scouting. It's titled Annual Program Planning for Cub Scouting. This 18-minute course is part of the PAC committee chair training and is available for anyone to take. There's also a roundtable video titled Annual Planning Conference that will give you the answer to the question, what makes a great Cub Scout pack? You can view this video by scanning the QR code on the screen. Having a calendar of events and activities in addition to standard meeting dates and times will let new families work Cub Scouting into their current schedule. Formal recruitment events often have a lot going on, and with so much, this is usually not the time to get into the details of your pack operations. This is best done at a parents' meeting that is done within 10 days after your formal recruitment event. What this parents' meeting looks like has a lot to do with the culture of your pack and what type of pack community you have or are trying to build. To learn more about getting parents involved, there's an online training module titled Involving Adults in Cub Scouting. Now, this 9-minute module is part of each of the position-specific training tracks found on my.scouting. For additional support, check out the roundtable videos titled Getting Parents Involved, Everyone Volunteers, and Parent to Leader. You can find these videos along with all the other Cub Scout Roundtable videos by scanning the QR code that's on the screen. Now, here are additional resources that you may find useful. Welcome New Cub Scout Family brochure. Welcome New Leader brochures. We also have resources on the PAC committee page, and you can get them by scanning the QR code on the screen. We just covered 2 operational items to support your PAC's formal recruitment event. However, there's one thing that's the most important item, and it isn't found on a calendar, a website, or even a video. Preparing yourself and the others in your pack to be friendly and welcoming is the #1 factor in a successful recruitment event. Think of these 2 situations. One is where the pack has checked all the boxes and the pack has a calendar, it has a parent meeting scheduled, and all the support materials needed. But when a new family member walks in, they're not greeted. They're told to be quiet, to sit down. They see other adults and kids glued to their phones. And the other situation is where you may only have a calendar for the next 2 months, not the whole year. You didn't print it, but it's on your PAC website. You don't have a stack of papers with all the details of your PAC, but when a new family walks in, they're greeted at the door with a sincere welcome and are instantly engaged in a conversation about who they are and are told how much fun you and your child have in the program. They are told how you are looking forward to getting to know them, and they see adults who are engaged in conversations with each other. People enjoy being with each other. In our first example, the PAC may have done everything by the book, but those things are strategic. It is your PAC's culture that will drive real success. There is a book by Kurt Kaufman and Kathy Sorensen titled Culture Eats Strategy for Breakfast. It is true in business. It's also true for your PAC. All right, now it's your turn. Consider these questions to discuss with your fellow leaders. What is
And we're not going to have them read it because you can read it yourself. So here we are. So just to make sure that you have read this right, what is your council's membership plan for formal recruitment events this year? Good thing Melissa's here. What are some of your strategic things your PAC does for formal recruitment events? What kind of culture does your PAC have? And how much effort do you and your fellow leaders spend on trying to build a PAC community versus completing a to-do list? So I'm going to stop sharing. And let's have this conversation.
Do you want me to take the first one, or does everybody know the plan? So this year, to align with our strategic goal and trying to grow membership across the council, some of the topics in the membership plan are to start the new member coordinator network. That is a huge piece of it. So far, we have me and one other person coming on April 10th. So I'm hoping all of you will come and spread the word, because it's not just about Cub Scouts, it's for everybody. But we're trying to get that network going. where we can share resources and ideas and work together. Beyond that, we are also always looking for public engagement events. So we have found over the last couple of years, we waste a lot of time, energy, and sometimes money trying to get people to come to our park and do our events. And it's much more cost effective to go to the things that are already there. So if there's a bluegrass festival or a national night out or a night at the speedway or something where people are, where families are, that allows us to have a table, ideally for free. Reach out to them. Let me know. We can reach out. We're trying to do things as a group. So there's a family fest coming up in, gonna forget the name of the town, somewhere out near Kankakee. I can't think of the town. So we're having all the units in that area can join and share their stuff, and we're gonna have flyers with all the towns on it. And we had a Will County Fest near Plainfield, so we had all the Plainfield units on the flyer, and we shared the table between the units. So if you find an event like that, let me know because I don't live in every town, so I don't know all of the events in every town. Um, and then beyond that, the commissioners are supposed to be working with the units over the next year to make sure you all have a membership plan, that we all talk about year-round recruiting and get rid of this idea that recruitment is only a fall thing, and possibly bringing back Adventure On Day, which we had at RSR in the past. It was a big, big event for scouts and recruiters. We're going to try to do it more local and have it be open to the public and have possibly two larger events where we get multiple units out doing something fun, inviting scouts, inviting recruiters, inviting the public, and showing them how fun scouting can be. Dates and locations still TBD, but that hopefully will be a big draw for two of our counties to have a lot of people come. So some of those are the key pieces of our 2025 membership plan. Also, I will be reviewing leads and applications. If you're not looking in My Dot Scouting on a weekly or every other week basis, please be doing that. You should be getting email reminders. I will be checking probably every Friday, every other Friday, and sending out reminders to people to make sure we're keeping up with leads and applications. Any other questions on the council membership plan? Okay. What was the second question is?
Okay, the next question is, what are some of the
Mm.
strategic things your PAC does for formal recruitment events? So does anyone have any input on strategic things your PAC does for formal recruitment events? Kelly?
All right. Sorry, couldn't get it to
Okay.
I couldn't get it on mute. We actually, probably our biggest thing that's helped is we go to the parent registration night for our kindergarten in like just now. We went in February. So last year we had a ton of kids registered really early in the summer. So that really helped build we have 8 lions, and that was a bigger group than we've had in the last couple of years. So that I think that was the biggest one, was getting out early. And I just sent them an email once, and then I'll update them over the summer a couple times with the names. But I had 43 emails.
Wow.
So that was, it was a really good, and people were real excited. So that's kind of a really good head start right now.
Just keep in mind it's 3 months before they can join, so make sure those regular updates are going to be
Oh
important.
yeah. Yeah. So
That's smart though, because I feel like normally we think of doing that at like back to school night in August,
yeah.
but doing it now is a smart idea. Get them excited about it.
Yeah, and we go back again when they have their like open house
Right.
in September, and then we do like National Night Out and stuff. But that one seems to be where that kind of like puts it in their head, hey, this is something to look for. And then we do like our summer events are like even just meeting at a park.
Right.
So we had a couple of them like the Lions were already coming to like, like even before you got into den meetings and stuff. So it just gave them a good feel for the whole pack too of what we were doing.
Smart. Anyone else have anything to add? One thing I think to think about is we talked about unit planning earlier. So we should be building those recruitment events into the calendar. So think about maybe things that you would normally do, like maybe like a rain gutter regatta. Could that be a recruitment event? Like think about what you already are putting on your calendar and invite maybe, the community to come join you at those things. And that way it's, you're not spending any extra money or even extra time. You're already there and people are coming to you. So just build those into your calendar, I would say. Any other comments on that?
So one of the things that you can do to that doesn't necessarily have to be around a big event is like doing a fun event that is a was it friendly fun friendly event.
NFA, normal friend activity.
That's it. I always get that wrong. But I think about those kinds of things, it's like, hey, have someone invite a friend and just go maybe do, the Scout Olympics used to be a big one, back in the day. And I think they're trying to bring something similar to that back. So think of those kinds of things as well. That's not necessarily have to be cost anything. So
Okay, the third question was what kind of culture does your pack have? Does anyone want to talk about that? Or what is a good kind of culture for your pack to have? Maybe ideal culture for your pack?
I think when it comes to culture, every pack I think has a culture. Every unit has a culture. Are you a big unit? Are you a small unit? Are you a wild and crazy unit? Are you quiet and tiny? I think it's important in recruiting to make sure that that comes across, right? I keep encouraging families, I hope you are too, to check out multiple units. You don't own a school, you don't own a troop, you don't own the siblings of your current scouts. They should be checking out other units to find the one that's the right fit for that kid, that family. And understanding your culture is a huge part of that. Is your unit one that fundraises monthly so that we do a lot of activities, but they're all basically free? Do you prefer to just write checks so we have big fees, but that everything is free? Those are all kinds of culture questions that families want to know when they're signing up. That's the thing that's going to distinguish this pack from the one down the street. Besides Tuesday versus Wednesday, besides being at the church versus being at the school in the gym, the culture is really what's going to make that decision for them because you're all running the same Cub Scout program.
mhm. I know like some units that I've heard of do like a hiking club. So they go hiking, and after they make certain milestones, they get their actual hiking stick, and then they get the medallions, and they get all these little tchotchkes things that goes onto their hiking stick. And that becomes a huge thing, this whole instant rewarding for something they've accomplished. We need to keep that in the forefront and in their minds. And
Mhm.
that's also your culture as well. You might not think it's something big, but it is. My pack 1,000 years ago, I feel like. We used to camp every month. We did. We family camped
Mhm.
every month when it was feasible, of course. But I mean, we did the camping. So by the time the kids got to the troop level, they were ready to go because they were used to camping. So that's also a culture.
Think there's one that's better or worse than another, and it doesn't have to be that if you're in Ez's pack now, it doesn't have to be the same culture. These things grow and evolve and change as the families change and as people age out and post pandemic things change and everything. So it's always good for who's doing recruiting to keep an eye on that and make sure you're explaining the current culture to your families.
And I also think, like he said in the video, you could be doing everything right, but if your culture is kind of maybe not super welcoming to the families,
Mhm.
then you will not be adding as many people to your pack. So definitely something to keep in mind, maybe mention at a committee meeting, like, hey, what kind of culture do we want to have? What steps could we take to work towards that? Like put down your phones at the meeting, welcome people as they come in the door, things like that. So
Mhm.
just kind of it's good to think about what you want, where you want to be.
Yeah.
And
And that new member coordinator can really
Yeah.
help with that to be not maybe not the recruiter. Maybe it's a separate person from the actual recruiter, but when you've actually you're ready to join, they're the one that's going to greet you at the door. They're the one that's, like I like to think of it as the ambassador, right? This is a foreign land called Pack 123, and there's nothing else like it anywhere. So I need to explain to these people our language, our acronyms, our culture, our money, all of the things when you come into our world, right? And so being that face and being personable and being able to talk to them, at least they know one person. And hopefully, like you said, Beth, in your committee meeting, I can then introduce them to the Cub Master. Maybe, we'll already know what den they're going to be in and start to build their community within the pack.
Okay. And then the fourth question was, how much effort do you and your fellow leaders spend on trying to build a pack community versus completing a to-do list? I feel like that's kind of maybe like a self-reflection kind of question. And it goes with what we were saying about building your culture is you can mark off the to-do list all you want, but if you're not building that culture within your pack, it's not going to get you the results that you're looking for. I don't know if anyone has any other thoughts.
I mean, we all understand that we're all volunteers and we're all really busy. And when we have to sit down and do this thing, it's like, another thing, and let's just get this done and over with. And it becomes irksome and it's a task. But if you create a planning time, make it fun. Order pizza, do a barbecue. I know I'm speaking on the troop level, but we have breakfasts. I have hot dog. I'm sorry. I have like donuts for the boys and then hot dogs in the afternoon and we plan all day. Or we used to do, we're working all morning and then by lunchtime, a late lunch becomes a family picnic over the summer. Make it fun, make it interesting and that also creates culture. Do you have a family picnic every year? You know, Something to think
And
about.
an important part of your culture, hopefully, is also that we're all volunteers and that we need help. And as keep saying, many hands, light work. Make sure that's part of your culture. The new member coordinator is almost too late. The first time they reach out, make sure they understand. They see these uniforms and they think, well, they must be paid. They're doing such a fantastic job. They must have been doing this for years. They must be, like generational Eagle Scouts. They don't understand. So explain how you learned. Explain that we're all volunteers. Explain that volunteering is really how we survive. And hopefully you will get more volunteers in the future. Another thing to think about right now, especially for Cub Scout packs, is do you have a recruiter? Do you have a new member coordinator? If not, or somebody else is wearing one of 13 hats, look right now at your about to be second year families. Not necessarily tigers or wolves, but look at who joined last year and are they helping now? Could they help? They were just new. They just understood what this process was like to come from the outside world into our land. See if they're willing to start helping the next family and build that role with that person. I'll tell you right now, that's how I started at the beginning of our second year in the pack. It's a slippery slope to this role, I'm telling you, but that's a good place to start. I was new. I understood what it was like to be new, and I had to go through all of that myself. So it was a lot easier for me to turn around and help the next guy. So think about that too. If you're wearing one of your 13 hats, maybe you could give it to somebody behind you.
Anybody else want to interject or add to this burning question, maybe? No?
Anything else about membership or recruitment at all? You're all going to sign up for April 10th, right? I'm going to see you all in Plainfield. Look at how excited you are. I can see it all on your faces. Kelly's representing for everybody.
All right.
Look at her smile. Look at how excited they all are because Kelly is smiling. But I know John and Erica, they're already signed up. It's going to be awesome. They're doing it right now. Jennifer too.
All right. So, if there's nothing else about recruitment or about creating an event, I'm going to stop recording now.